Managing who has access to what in your organization can be challenging, especially when employees change roles, new hires join, and external partners collaborate on projects. If you don't keep track, users might retain access they no longer need, creating security risk and compliance issues. This is where Entra Access Review comes in. With Microsoft Entra Access Reviews, you can regularly review user access to applications, groups, and admin roles. You can ensure only the right people have access at the right time. You can reduce excessive permissions and prevent security breaches. And you can meet compliance requirements by demonstrating proper access control. This means you can automate the review process, eliminate unnecessary access, and improve security without adding extra IT workload. Why should you use access reviews? Because organizations are constantly evolving. Employees switch roles, contractors come and go, and new projects require different levels of access. If you don't actively review access, you risk security threats. Users with too much access can become target for attacks. You risk compliance issues. Auditors may flag excessive permissions as lack of control. And you risk operational inefficiencies. Manually tracking access takes up a valuable time. With Microsoft Entra Access Reviews, you stay in control by automatically checking who still needs access and removing permissions when they are no longer necessary. When should you set up access reviews? Let's try to understand the key scenarios. See, if too many users have admin rights, organization becomes more vulnerable to attacks and insider threats. In this case, you should review and remove unnecessary privilege roles in Microsoft Entra Privilege Identity Management. If your HR system doesn't sync with Microsoft Entra, users might keep access long after leaving the company. In this case, you set up manual access reviews for security groups and Microsoft 365 groups. If a group is repurposed, old members may still have access to resources they don't need. In this case, you can ask the group owner to review and update membership before making changes. Unauthorized users might retain access to sensitive data in critical applications. In this case, you require users to justify continued access at regular intervals. Some users need exception to security policies, but tracking them can be difficult. In this case, you schedule periodic access reviews to ensure exceptions are still justified. External partners and vendors might keep access indefinitely if no one removes them. In this case, you ask group owners to confirm guest users still need access and remove inactive accounts. Without regular reviews, users may keep outdated permissions, which can increase security risk. In this case, you schedule weekly, monthly, or quarterly reviews so access stays up to date. The location where you set up an access review in Microsoft Entra depends on the type of access you need to review. Different tools within Microsoft Entra allow you to manage access for groups, enterprise applications, privilege roles, and entitlement-based assignments. If you need to review security groups or Microsoft 365 group memberships, you should create the access review within Microsoft Entra Access Reviews. The review process can be handled by group owners, specified reviewers, or even self-review by the users themselves. Once the review is created, reviewers can approve or deny access through the access panel. For reviewing enterprise application assignments, such as access to SaaS applications or custom integrated apps, you will set up the review in Microsoft Entra Enterprise Apps, similar to group membership. The review process can be conducted by specified reviewers or self-review, with approvals happening in the access panel. When reviewing Microsoft Entra admin roles such as Global Administrator or Security Administrator, you need to use Privilege Identity Management. These reviews ensure that administrative privileges are regularly evaluated and revoked when no longer needed. Reviewers can be specified individuals or the users themselves, and approvals take place in the Microsoft Entra Admin Center. For Azure resource roles such as User Access Administrator or Contributor, reviews are also managed through Privilege Identity Management. Since these roles grant permissions to Azure resources, it's essential to periodically verify that only necessary users retain these privileges. As with admin roles, the review process takes place in Microsoft Entra Admin Center. Finally, if you are reviewing access package assignments, which are bundle permissions managed within entitlement management, you need to create the review under the entitlement management in Microsoft Entra. This is particularly useful for temporary project access, external user permissions, or departmental role-based access. Approvals for these reviews are also handled in the Microsoft Entra Admin Center. Best practice is assign resource owners to review access rather than IT admins whenever possible. Resource owners have better context about who actually needs access, making the review process more effective and accurate. Bottom line, with Microsoft Entra Access reviews, you can eliminate excessive permissions and security risk, streamline compliance with automated access reviews, and reduce IT workload while maintaining strong security controls.